Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do another 5 tough GCSE questions. I'm going to try and make the topics slightly different, so I don't just repeat doing vectors each time or topics themselves that I know are difficult, but different types of questions. So today's question looks fairly straightforward. Do note it's a non-calculator question. As ever, pause the video, have a go, and then come back to me and see if you've got the right answer. Just to stress the thing that I'll try and say all the time, you may have done it a slightly different way. That is fine. It's about getting the correct answer. Okay, so how did we all do? As with all these sorts of questions that look very difficult, it's about just setting out what you've got, what you know, and what you're trying to get to. However, for this particular question, there's 2 words that are quite important, and those 2 words are the words show and that. So I'm going to start by just making this a little bit smaller so I can actually deal with it properly. And I'm just going to note again that I need to be making sure that I'm demonstrating the answer is clear. And that is because it's giving you the answer, so you need to show that you can get to the answer properly. And the way the mark scheme will work is the mark scheme will be looking for you to have done various things in order to convince the marker or the examiner that you have got there correctly, as opposed to just do some math and write the answer at the end. We do look for that, by the way. So what I'm doing first of all is I'm just noting what it says in the question. So it tells me in the question that A to B, B to C, C to D are in the ratio 1 to 2 to 3. So I could do 1, 2, and 3, but I'm going to choose to use algebra because it might help me elsewhere. It might help me with some different types of numbers. And that actually means then that I can write, well, the way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to think about triangle ABG, the middle triangle ACF, and the big triangle ADE. And I know the length scale factors for these triangles are going to be x, 3x, and 6x. And of course, that's because A to C is 2x plus x, and A to D is 2x plus 3x plus x. Now, this is where the question is quite clever. It's actually just a standard similar shapes question, whereas I've written these things down as lengths, but because effectively I know the scale factors, so to go from ABG to ACF is multiplied by 3, it must be the case of having a ratio, which means I can write the area scale factors like this. Now, again, if you weren't quite sure what I've done there, pause the video, have a think. If you're really stuck, obviously leave a comment and I'll try and explain that better. But the key to this question is recognizing that I can write the area scale factors based on the different lengths. And then that means that I can start working out the areas of the various triangles. So if I let the area of a triangle ABG equal to 1, and again, I could use Y or Z or a different letter, but I've chosen to use 1 here, it must be the case using the area scale factors that ACF is equal to 9. And if I know ABG is equal to 1, using the area scale factors again, I know the large triangle ADE is 36 times that, or it's just equal to 36. Now, if I know the area of the triangles by using just differences, I can work out the area of the shapes I care about. So go back to the question. The question says, what's the area of ABG? Well, I've got that. What's the area of BCFG? Well, BCFG is the triangle ACF minus the top small triangle. So in other words, I take these 2 things away, and that tells me the area of BCFG is 8. You can actually start to see the numbers fall out already, which is a bit reassuring. The next part, I can see that the area of CDF, well, CDF is going to be the big triangle ADE, take away the medium triangle ACF, and that's going to leave me with 36 minus 9, which is 27. Need to make sure I answer the question. The question says, and therefore show the area of ABG to BCFG to CDEF. Where I've started with the area of the first one being 1, that makes it very easy to make the conclusion that the areas are as required down here. Now, if you have done Y's or you've started with ABG being a different number, you'd have to show your scale factors falling out correctly, but either way, that should get you to the answer. So not the hardest question to start, but question 2 of 5, definitely a little bit harder. So have a go at that one as well. Try all 5. Let's see how we do. As ever, leave a comment if you need something else explaining or if you just have a question. Do like the video, really helps the video go further. And also if you subscribe to the channel, that would help me a lot. Thanks all. Bye.